In this video, I want to take you further into the Google Apps editor and see how you can automate almost any task in your spreadsheet. But to do that, we have to look a bit deeper in our spreadsheet service. So let's have a look into our editor. So I've created this sandbox tab. So the name of the tab is called sandbox, and I have put two values in here. And what I'd like to do is place a value in cell C3, which is a product, like a multiplication of these two values or a sum. Doesn't really matter, it's just to show an example of what we can do via the editor. So to do that, we go into our editor. Yes. So we'll open the editor. There's currently one file in there, which is one of our macros, but I want to create a new file. So I want to say new file is script, and I want to say first function. That is the name of our file. So it automatically defines a function named myFunction. So we can just use that name, that's fine. We can also change it to anything else. So what I'd like to do is define our spreadsheet at first. So I created a cheat sheet with a lot of functions in there that we can use. If you have any questions on this, just let me know, leave a comment, and I'm happy to explain more functions or any of these functions. If you're getting stuck, you can also use this link here at the top, and that should go into the developer environment where you can read more about the documentation of the script editor as well as other tools. So let's use this cheat sheet going forward. The first function that we want to do is define our spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet is defined by the spreadsheet service, SpreadsheetApp.get active spreadsheet. All right, and then we want to narrow it down to our tab. So our sheet equals spreadsheet dot get sheet by name, and the name of our sheet is sandbox. Okay, so this is to defining the sheet. What we then want to do is make a multiplication of those two values. So multiply two values. To do that, we have to point the script editor to cell A1 and then cell B1. So within the sheet, we go to cell A1. So let's define that cell as cell A1 equals sheet dot get range A1 dot get value, and then we want to do the same for cell B1. So for cell B1 we want to do the exact same function. So now we have those two values, and we can do a multiplication for cell C3. So for cell C3 equals cell A1 times cell B1. Enter the colon, and so now we have defined cell C3. The last step is to insert that into the sheet. Insert outcome into sheet. So we want to do that in cell C3. So let's do sheet dot get range C3 dot set value instead of get value, and we want to set the value of cell C3, so the variable cell C3. Save. So let's save this. Let's run the debugger. So if there are any errors, so there seem to be no errors. Okay, so let's delete this, run it again, see what happens in here. You see it automatically fills it in. So if we now change this to cell D3 and run it again, it will edit it in cell D3. So this is a simple example of how you can take values from the sheet, merge them together, do kind of multiplication, do all kinds of interesting things. So you're completely free in the number of functions you can use. To give you an idea to how fancy it is can go, the most useful things I do with these sheets is to use APIs to third-party tools, so connect it, for instance, to MailChimp or to your email service provider, to Slack, to Google Analytics, and automatically every day get that data out there, change certain values, do multiplications, do all kinds of calculations, and automate this in the background so that in the morning you wake up and you have like a whole business report prepared for yourself. So this is an introduction into the spreadsheet service and what you could do and kind of how this works. But if you already have any questions, feel free to let me know. And otherwise, I'll hope to see you in the next video.